If you are a business owner, what I'm about to share with you in this video will have a profound impact on your business. Over the years, I have started a lot of businesses. I failed in a lot of businesses, and some worked and some didn't. And I'm always very fascinated by the question, why some businesses are more successful than others. How come some businesses could never even break through that six figure? And how come there are businesses that's worth $1 billion, the unicorn? Put aside the entrepreneur, put aside timing, put aside luck, put aside even skill. And how could I take some of these findings and implement it in my own business and also teach other business owners? Now, in case you don't know some of the statistics, in US alone, there are 28 million businesses. And out of those 28 million businesses, there's what I call the valley of death. 96% of those businesses never surpassed the $1 million mark. 96%. Only 4% surpass, exceeds that $1 million mark. And out of those, think about it, 96% don't do that. That means most businesses don't make it. Out of that 20 million businesses, only 0.4% ever get to the $10 million mark. 0.4%, think about it. And even less, only less than 17,000 of those businesses ever get to the $50 million mark. That is a tiny, tiny percentage compared to the 28 million businesses in US. Now think about other countries, because I know I have business owners watching me and follow me from other countries. Those numbers are even lower. If you're in Canada, just do the math, because we have way smaller population compared to the US. So that's a very, very, very tiny percentage. So today I'm going to share with you what are some of those distinctions. What is truly the difference between a business that's doing six-figure versus a business that's doing seven-figure versus a business that's doing eight-figure. You got it? Okay. So I believe at the six-figure level, let's say from $0 to $1 million, $0 to $1 million, your focus are three things: sales, marketing, and offers. When you are a startup, when you're just trying to get the first group of customers, what we need to focus on at that level, the level one, is how do we get customers in the door? How do we make those first few sales? How do we make those few sales profitably, generating income, generating profits, right? And then think about what are our offers? What does the marketplace want to buy? And once you have an offer, you're bringing people in. How do I offer more things, more products, more services to my existing customers? That's our focus. Sales, marketing, and offer. Those three things. Once you bypass that, now you've cracked that code. That people are coming into your business, people are buying from you, you are building a customer base. And now you're also expanding your team. By the time you get through that $1 million mark, you're no longer doing everything yourself. You've got a team around you. Not maybe a huge team, but you do have a few people around you that's helping you, assisting you to do some of the work, to deliver the results, to deliver the products, right? From the $1 million to $10 million mark, your focus will shift from not just focusing on sales, marketing, and offer. Now you're focusing on systems and processes and procedures. Meaning that not only you want to create a result, you want to create a system that would create those results predictably even when you are not there. This is where most entrepreneurs got stuck, because at the $0 to $1 million phase, you are the go-to person. Chances are you're the number one sales person for the company. You are the rainmaker. You are the one that's connecting with customers. You know all the customers. You have the relationships. You're bringing in the money. You're doing probably a lot of the work still at that level. But now you can't, because the capacity issue, right? You hit that glass ceiling. From 1 to 10 million, now you need systems. Why do you need systems? Because then you can bring in people who are better than you that could run those systems to create the same result as if you were there. From the 1 to 10 million. And this is what stops most entrepreneurs, because what got you to that 1 million won't get you to that 10 million. A lot of habits, a lot of things that worked in the past that you could grind it out, you cannot grind it out at that new level. I always say, you could hustle your way to 6 figure, you cannot hustle your way to 7 figure. At 7 figure, you need leverage. And you leverage people, systems, processes to create more results, to create more impact, to create more value in the marketplace. Does that make sense? Comment below. Now, once you get past that $10 million mark, now you're at the next level. Now, at this level, a lot of businesses don't make it because the systems break, right? Things break when you are, especially if you're growing at a hyper speed. It was working fine 6 months, a year, 2 years ago. Suddenly, all those things don't work anymore. Now transitioning from an entrepreneur, now you're acting more like a CEO, as a chief executive officer. So beyond the $10 million level, what you now need to focus on is leadership, culture, and most importantly, strategic decision making. Now you're thinking for the future. What's coming down the pipeline? What are some of the risks, right? What are some of the things that your people won't be able to see because they are in the trenches, they're working, but now you're from the 30,000 feet above view. Okay, what are some of the strategies that we need to do? We need to implement. What are some of the things we want to focus on the next 1 to 3 years? What are some of the things that will happen that might disrupt our industry? And now you have culture, because culture is the glue, right? Culture is how your people would behave when you are not there. Culture is what you use to attract the best talents to your company. So leadership and culture, very, very, very critical. Now you're no longer the best salesperson for your company. You're no longer the best marketer for your company. You're no longer the best operation person in your company. You've got now an executive team, chances are a senior leadership team or a C-suite. They are the ones who are helping you with a lot of the day-to-day. So you could focus on being the visionary, coming up with ideas, coming up with strategies to move the company forward. Now, your job is to think. Now you don't get paid to do, you get paid to think. That's why you are the CEO. And in some cases, some entrepreneurs may not be the best CEOs for their companies because they like to do, that's what they like. They like to be in the trenches. But as a CEO, you cannot do that. You have a much more important job to do, and it's to think ahead, to conceptualize, to strategize. That's what I see. So from 0 to 1 million, that's how you get over the delta value from 1 to 10, and then from 10 to probably 30 to 40 million. By the time you get to 30, 40 million, now there's a whole set of problems that would come up. Now every level is another devil. And this is something that I coach and I train entrepreneurs and I help them scale through my advisory board called Dragon 100. If you have a business that's doing at a very minimum at least $100,000 a year, but you're not quite at the $1 million level and you want to break through that, you want to get to the next level, or you have a business that's doing $1 million, between 1 to 10 million, you want to break through to that 10 million, Dragon 100 is where you need to be. To see if you qualify, click the link below and see if it's something that would benefit you and benefit your company.